Okay, so I am live on Facebook and Instagram, so hello. I'm just going to check here if it's all working. I think it is. So if you're here, you can get your mats out if you need a mat, or have your blocks, belts, whatever you might want. The one thing that might be useful today is if we come into a squat. So obviously some of us can't squat because of knee issues or whatever we might have. But if you have a block like this, even if you have some cushions or a rolled up blanket, that will be useful, really just for the heels to sit on so that it feels like you're supported a bit more. So that's kind of the potential prop that you might want to enjoy today. So, lovely. Oh, great. So lovely to see you, Angela and Jane, Joyce. So say hello if you're here. Let me know how you're feeling. If you're like, yeah, I'm ready for yoga, I need to move. Or if you're like, I'm just tired. Or how you're feeling. What's going on a Wednesday afternoon. I generally always say in a session, when we start our session, how we're feeling. Sometimes we need that energy if we're feeling lethargic. Maybe we need that energy to wake up a little bit. And sometimes we're feeling really lethargic and tired, and it's actually because we just need to rest a bit. So when we go through the class, then listen to what's going on in your body and accommodate accordingly. Yeah, well, this is it. If you work from home, then it's not far to get on the yoga mat. So I'm glad that you are on the mat again. Yeah, stretching out. This is the thing. I'm just chatting for a little bit longer before we start, as people are joining us. I think, because we're not walking the same as we usually do. We usually walk to the bus, and from the bus to the tube station, and then we walk on the tube station. We can walk a lot on the tube and then get on the train or whatever we need to do. We actually move our bodies quite a lot, and even if we go for our daily walks, however many walks you might be going on at the minute, it's we are most likely not walking as much as we usually do. So it might be just moving a little bit. So having that time that you actually come to the yoga mat today is fantastic. Lovely. So I think we're ready to start. So even if you are watching at a later stage, because obviously on Instagram it will just be on for 24 hours, but on Facebook it's just going to stay. But say hello in the comments even if you're watching later on. And also if you have any other requests that you would like to explore in a yoga session. And if it's a specific pose or specific theme that you want to play around with, that would be great to know as well. So we'll just come into a comfortable seat. We're just sitting in a comfortable cross-legged position. Actually, before you do that, if you just joined us, we are potentially moving into different squat variations. So the one thing that you might want to have, if it's difficult for you to squat, if not for your knees, but for your heels, if the heels lift off the floor. You might not have a brick block, but if you do, that's great to have near you. you most likely have some kind of cushions, and you can have your cushions underneath your heels, or roll up a blanket or a towel. So if you have that, that is a good thing. Obviously we offer other options if your knees are uncomfortable. Hi Lumi. So join here. I know sometimes on Instagram it says, do you want to be in the video? But that means you're actually on the screen with me. So you probably don't want to do that. So just join me on the video. I know I can't see you. But if you are thinking about, if some of you have requested and talked about Zoom, which I've kind of been avoiding, but if you are really wanting Zoom, it might happen, but let me know either way. Okay, so come into a comfortable seat, cross-legged or sitting on the heels. And simply just arrive on the mat. So you can close the eyes if that's comfortable. So just taking a few moments to find yourself on the mat. Notice just where you are in your body. And perhaps notice how you feel in the front of the body, from the frontal brain, your eyes, through the chest, your abdomen. Just noticing the space at your front and in front of you. And then become aware of the back of the body, the back of the skull, neck, shoulder blades, the spine, the lower back, the back of the arms, and the space behind you. And be aware of the whole right side of the body and the left side of the body. And then imagine a sense, the central channel. So this could be represented by the spine, or an imaginary channel from the perineum all the way up through the body, through the crown of the head. So it's not a rigid channel, it's fluid. So being in your center, balance between front, back, right and left. And so from here we'll bring the palms together, and so we can maybe offer an intention from our hearts, a prayer, or maybe just taking this moment to connect to our bodies, to our breath. Allowing this next hour to be a place of support from the back, from the front, and through our center. So let's just take a deep breath in together. The exhale, we just breathe out through the mouth. So breathing in, and exhale through the mouth. Beautiful. And from here, shift your hands forward. You come onto your hands and knees. Again, your body, you check in with how you feel in your bodies. So make adjustments and modifications as appropriate. Just start with your hands directly underneath your shoulders. Spread your fingers out really wide, straightening the arms and lift up into your shoulder blades. So you kind of stretch the shoulder blades away from each other. Step the knees a little bit further away from you, from your hips. And notice if you collapse the pelvis, if you stick your bum up, and then come into a neutral spine. And keep that neutral spine as you lift up into the shoulder blades, tuck the toes under, and feel a slight lift through the pelvic floor and the lower abdomen. We'll take a deep breath here. As we exhale, the only thing that's going to change is our legs will straighten, but the pelvis stays more or less in the same position. Take an inhale here, exhale, knees to the floor, super slow, and then again straightening the legs and knees to the floor. So continuing this little movement, now you will notice that maybe your core starts to shake a bit. So this is where we connect to our frontal body. Now if at any time this straight leg variation, full plank, doesn't work for you, then you can bring the knees to the floor at any time in the practice. Everyone bring the knees to the floor. We'll lower very slowly down to the floor by bringing the elbows back, the heart forward, maybe 5, pelvis, belly, chest and chin. Stretch the toes back and just come into a small cobra pose. So you keep the belly on the floor, you lift through the heart, shoulders draw back. We're starting to strengthen the back body. Come back to the hands and knees. Now your choice, if you know that knees on the floor is best for you, that's where you'll stay. Otherwise you can straighten the legs. We'll lower all the way down to the floor again. So lower the elbows back, shoulders just releasing down, either as one piece coming down to the floor or knees, pelvis, belly, chest. Inhale, small cobra pose, or if appropriate you take your hands just slightly further back, roll the shoulders back, press into the floor with your tops of your feet, and then you can straighten the arms, upward facing dog. So whatever variation you're in, your heart extends forward, you lift out of the shoulders. If your arms are straight, you're lifting your thighs and knees off the floor. You can draw the tailbone in slightly to support your lower back. Next exhale, downward facing dog. Really nice, well done. So in downward dog you can bend one knee, stretch the other heel down. Now another option, anytime in your practice, is to bring the knees to the floor, sit to the heels, hit on the floor or on your hands, child's pose. So that's an option anytime in your practice. Perfect. So let's take another breath. Let's meet in a downward facing dog. So you can bend the knees a bit just to lengthen the spine. So we want to support our back. Inhale into your plank pose variation, straight legs and knees on the floor. As you lower down, the elbows hug in towards your rib cage, and you can come halfway, shoulders, elbows, hips, heels straight, and then come into your upward dog, or the variation we did before. Downward facing dog. Walk your feet to the front of the mat, standing forward bend. Relax the neck, relax the head, and just allow the back body to lengthen. Release the jaw and the tongue. Inhale, lengthen through the spine into a half forward bend. Hands can be on your body, on the floor. Fold it all the way as you exhale. Inhale, we come into a chair pose, so you can bend the knees as if you're about to sit in a chair. Extend your arms either out in front or above the head. So we'll stay here breathing. Now you want to be able to see your knees, or see your toes beyond your knees. If they're far forward, you take them further back so you can look at your toes. Keep your thighs, knees and toes in the same direction. So your legs could be together if that feels more comfortable and more stable. You hug into your center. Arms above the head or out in front. Really nice. Inhale, come back to the middle, straighten up. Hands to the center of the heart. Beautiful. Ready to flow and stretch. Yeah. Press the feet to the earth. Close the eyes for a moment. Press the feet firmly down so the front of the thighs lift and you're lengthening the lower back. So everything we do when we press through the feet to ground us, we extend to the crown of the head. When the front of the thighs slightly engaged, we lengthen the back body. Front and back are always connected. Inhale, reach your arms above the head. Exhale, fold it forward, standing forward bend. We'll inhale into plank or into our chair pose again. Bend the knees, lift your heart. Exhale, we fold forward. Interlace your fingers behind your back. Allow your hands to travel. So they might not travel far. You can move towards straightening the legs, but you don't have to. The inhale, we release the hands, arms above the hip, chair pose. Exhale, standing forward bend, hands behind the head. Inhale into chair pose. Exhale, fold it forward. Let's do twice more. Inhale, chair pose. Exhale, the forward bend. Inhale, the chair pose. And your forward bend. Stay in your forward bend, maybe keeping the hands interlocked behind you. So again, the variation we've been working with is that you can always have a belt, or maybe you have some socks that you can hold on to. Release the hands to the lower back, and then you can massage all the way down the back of your legs, your hamstrings, the back of the knees, the calf muscles, all the way down to the earth. Inhale, this time just come halfway up. Exhale, fold it all the way. Step your right leg back, stay here in your lunge. So as always, the option can be to bring the knee to the floor. Otherwise, as you press the ball of the right foot into the earth, you feel the thigh lifting as you lengthen into the hamstrings. Extend the heart forward, draw that left sitting bone back. So this might just be a transition, but it's also a shape or pose. So notice what happens as you draw that left sitting bone back, but your shin and your knee still facing forward. And so everyone's favorite pose, plank pose. Step the left leg back, legs straight or knees to the earth. And press into the balls of the feet, keeping the shoulders over the heels of the hands. Lift up into your shoulder blades. Your choice, either come halfway down or lower all the way down. Inhale your back bend, cobra, upward dog. Everyone downward facing dog. Very nice. And so in your downward dog, we have the hands and the feet grounding us. The pelvis is extending up towards the ceiling. So just notice where you put your weight. Is it all in your hands, in front of you? Is it all behind you? How is your center, so your pelvis, your lower belly? Do you feel centered here? Or how can you make this asana, this shape, more stable? Maybe bending the knees a bit. Maybe walking the feet further back or further forward. Step the feet together at the back of the mat. Extend your left leg behind you, but we'll keep the left toes pointing straight down. So you're not opening into the hips. The pelvis is as level as possible. Downward facing dog again. And then again, the right foot slowly lifts off the floor. And you don't have to put the foot all the way to the ceiling, but the toes are pointing down. The leg is super strong. Step the right foot between the hands. You can come to your fingertips, press into the ball of the left foot. Right sitting bone is drawing back, but the shin is shifting forward, so you start to feel a stretch in the hamstrings. Extend your heart forward. And just for a moment notice, is all the weight forward? Is it all the way back, especially if you're on your knee? Where is that center? Are you centered? Are you in front of yourself? Are you behind yourself? How is your right compared to your left? Step the left foot forward. Inhale to lengthen through the spine. Exhale, fold it. And let's enjoy another chair pose. So bend the knees. Lift through the chest, arms either above the head or out in front. So I'm just going to move a little bit to the middle of the room. So finding that space. Inhale, rise up. Bring the hands to the heart. Close the eyes again. And again, notice where you are in your bodies. Are you on the front of the feet? So the balls of the feet. Maybe the pelvis is thrusting forward. Maybe you're behind. Your chin is sticking out. So nothing is linear. Everything is curved, but within that curve, are you shifting forward or backwards? Are you shifting to one side? Where is your center? This is what's wonderful in our asana practice, our yoga poses. Finding our physical center, maybe we can get a bit more centered in the rest of our lives. Interlace your fingers, extend the heels of the hands away from you and then above the head. If you stick your ribs out, take them back in again, so balance between the back body and the front body. And we'll keep pressing the feet down. We'll come into a very little twist. So twist to the right side, but keep the pelvis as far balanced forward as possible. Come back to the center and to the other side. Back into the middle. Release your arms out. Inhale, take your arms above the head. Bend your elbows. So now opposite hand on opposite shoulder. If that doesn't work, hold on to your elbows. So again, opposite hand on opposite shoulders. I have a tendency to stick my ribs out, so I have to take them back in again. Twist gently to your right. Small twist. And to the left. Come back to the middle, release your arms out. Beautiful. So we'll see how balanced we are. Inhale into chair pose, your arm variation. Sitting back, looking down at your toes. Now this is going to change a little bit. We're going to lift the heels off the floor, so now your knees will shift forward. You can't see your toes anymore. If you have knees that need nurturing, you're not going to sit down, you're just going to balance here. Otherwise, with the heels off the floor, we slowly lower down to sit onto the heels. If you have knee issues, simply come down to a comfortable seat. Otherwise, we'll stay on the toes, the balls of the feet, and take your hands to opposite shoulder again. Look to your right side. And twist to your left side. Come forward again. Can we still stay here? If we fall out, we come back in again. Interlock the fingers, the heels of the hands away from you, arms above the head. We'll twist to the right, knees pointing straight forward. Come back to the middle and to the other side. Come back to the center, release the hands. We'll sit all the way down, everyone. Perfect. So if you are seated already, just take your legs out in front, circle your ankles for a moment, finding a little bit of fluidity. So we will come into the squat again. So your variation can be that squat. It might also just be that you press your feet to the floor, knees pointing up, sit on a few blocks or sit on lots of cushions, so there's not too much pressure in your knees. So this is an option. If your knees need more support, simply just sit on the floor or a couple of blocks, and this will be your variation, sitting up nice and tall. If you are happy in the squat, no issues in your knees or ankle or pelvis, Then you can start to take your knees apart, and then having your seat being really heavy, you can walk your hands forward so you're between your legs, between your knees. So again, if your heels are not touching just because you have tight Achilles heel or in the back of the legs, you can have your heels off the floor or put support underneath the heels. And then slowly sit all the way up wherever you are. We'll come up to standing again. Press your feet down. Rise all the way to standing. Hands to the center of the heart. Wonderful. With the hands at your heart, press the feet to the ground. Crown of the head rising. Inhale, raise your prayer to the sky, and then take it all the way down through that central channel, your center, all the way down to the earth. Inhale, lengthening through the spine, and fold it all the way. Take the left leg back. Stay here, drawing the right sitting bone back. Now we can use the right thumb into the right hip crease. So the thumb right into the hip crease. So really where you bend. So that's where the thumb can be. So just as a little alignment. The left knee can be on the floor, that's fine. But if you have that tendency of the bum sticking out to the side, you take that thumb and draw it back. If the shin moves back, you take it forward again. Keep pressing into the back foot. Lift your right shoulder. Spinal twist. Bring the hands to the floor. Step into your plank pose, legs straight or knees on the earth. Take a deep breath in. Stay as you exhale it. Breathing in. Next exhale, slowly lower halfway or all the way. Inhale, cobra pose or upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. And breathe in your downward dog. Again, just connecting to your body, to your breath. Extend the right leg behind your toes, pointing down. Downward facing dog. Left leg stretches. Step the foot all the way between the hands. If it doesn't come forward, you just grab hold of your foot, maybe with the knee on the floor, and extend. Again, take that left thumb into the left hip crease so that you just have a bit of support, drawing the thigh bone back. Heart extends forward, and then from here you can twist. So if you shift to one side, you're back in the center. And you can extend the arm towards the sky, so your variation. But what you want to consider again is just that thing of where's your center? Where's your back, your front, your rights and your lefts? And so from here the hands come down to the floor. We'll step the right foot forward, standing forward bend. Inhale to look up. Exhale to fold. We'll come into chair pose again. So go ahead and bend the knees to lift with the chest. This time bring your hands to your heart. So finding that center line, we'll rotate on our center. So from here we'll twist towards our right side. So left elbow come onto the right thigh. If this is too much, you just take your forearm, and again you can use that right thumb to bring your hips back. And you notice how the body wants to accommodate. So we want to twist deeply, or our ego wants to twist deeply. The whole body twists, so basically you're not twisting, you're just moving your body. So take that right sitting bone back, extend your heart forward. Come back to the center, just enjoy a forward bend, relax the neck. And then coming back to your chair pose, bring your hands to your heart. So if this is not your favorite, then think the fire of your heart, your intention, your devotion, your dedication for your practice. This is the fire that you give that offering. So let's twist to the left side. You can gaze down, just look at your toes and your knees, whether they're aligned. Is one knee further forward than the other? And then fold forward, standing forward bend. You can have your hands on the floor, you can grab hold of your opposite elbows, you can swing from side to side. So just enjoy your forward bend. Letting the spine relax. You're not pushing anywhere, you're just letting the spine release forward, creating space, folding into yourself. Really nice. Release the hands to the earth. Inhale, lengthening through the spine, and fold it as you exhale. Take your right leg back, the left leg, once again we're in our beloved plank pose. So lifting up into the shoulders. This is like Tadasana, just standing straight but with a lot more muscular support. So notice here what is engaging and what isn't. If your lower back is uncomfortable, you bring the knees to the floor, but you're still active. So this is your front body working, your abdomen hugging in. Even with the knees on the floor, you're lifting up into your shoulders, you're very, very active. So feel that strength, whether knees on the ground or straight. How much does your front body support you? Let's slowly lower all the way down to the floor. And once you lower down, in slow motion sometimes, or we try to, you can come into just resting your head on the floor. I like the prayer position, arms in front or fingertips pointing up. So just take a few moments just resting on the front, because how often do we do that? So head can be on your hands, forward on the floor. And as you stay in your forward bend, notice the quality of allowing to relax your back body. The buttocks can relax, the thighs can relax, shoulder blades. The belly can be soft, pressing towards the earth, and you are fully supported. And feel the spine as you are resting in a prostration pose. Just feel the spine and body. How does that feel? How does the body feel, the breath feel? How easy is it to completely surrender and allow the body to breathe, being supported from the front body. Beautiful. So we will strengthen our back body a little bit more. So really honor your lower back. If your lower back is a bit sensitive, then really be mindful of your lower back. So from the front body, we'll take the hands all the way down towards the hips. The fingertips are pointing down to the toes. The palms of the hands are pressing down. Now press the pubic bone to the floor. The tailbone tucks under. And then as you inhale, just lift your heart. You can walk your fingertips back, extending your heart forward. So your legs are actively pressing down. Your heart is forward. You're going to roll the shoulder blades down. And you breathe. If this feels too much, bring your hands out in front so you can support yourself. But don't go any higher than what you could do here. Then slowly release back down. Hands can be under your head, by your side. And again, let the abdomen relax. Wonderful. So we'll go a little bit deeper with this. So again, check in with how you feel in your body. This time we can interlock our fingers behind our back. Roll the shoulders back and then extend the arms behind us, squeezing the shoulder blades together to lift the heart. To support your lower back, you lift through the pelvic floor, and that you can simply do that by drawing the tailbone to the pubic bone, lengthening the lower back. So you're using your back muscles to enjoy the back bend. Release all the way back down. And so this time we'll lift both the arms, the chest, but also the legs. So if it's uncomfortable in your lower back, bring the chest down and simply enjoy the leg variation. So we'll take the arms out in front of us this time. Now remember, when your arms were above your head, if they were by your ears, we'll try to keep them by the ears. The arms can be heavy. So we'll keep that lightness and extension through both toes and through the fingers. So arms out in front. Take a deep breath in. As you exhale, draw the tailbone to the pubic bone, lift with the pelvic floor, the lower abdomen. Then reach your arms forward, your toes back, Stalabhasana. So extending both forward and backwards. So this should be no discomfort in the back. You might feel the muscles working. Keep the arms lifted. I know they feel heavy. Maybe lift the right leg a little bit higher, then lift the left leg. Then lift the left leg a bit higher, and then the right. And lift your heart a bit higher. And slowly release it down. Shake out the hips. And again, just relax your head to the floor. Take a deep breath in. And deep breath out. Deep breath in. And deep breath out. Bring the hands by the chest, come into a small cobra pose, heart lifts. So again, think of all the muscles along the spine supporting you. Then come onto the knees. We'll come into a child's pose. You can have your knees together or apart. You can sit towards the heels. You can rest the hip to the floor or onto your fist. And so as we've been engaging through the back muscles, now just allow that gentle curve of the spine. Belly can relax, sitting bones can release towards the heels, and you simply breathe. Slowly coming back to a downward dog, feeling that extension through the spine, the support through the spine. Feeling the back body supporting you, the front body supporting you. Come into your plank pose again, feel the support both through the front and the back, so your center is stable and still flexible. Lower all the way or halfway. Inhale to a back bend. Downward facing dog. Now we'll just work a little bit on the upper body. So again, you really listen to your body. We'll come into a plank pose. Now maybe we'll all start with the knees on the floor. So just from the plank pose, notice where your hips are. They're going to stay as the knees come down. So you engage your front body. We're going to lower halfway down to the floor. The shoulders and the elbows will be more or less aligned. The shoulders might be higher than the elbows, but not any lower. So it's like a little mini push-up. Maybe you come here, maybe you come here, but you're not going to drop the shoulders down. So hugging into your center. Elbows want to splay out, but you hug them into the center. So if you feel that collapse, hug it in. You don't need to bend the elbows a lot. It's literally from straight and then bending the elbows to the ribs. From straight, bending the elbows to the ribs. If arm variation doesn't work, just bring your hands together, come into this little variation, pressing the palms together, and just hover here. But the rest of us will come into these little push-ups. So lower halfway down, slowly straightening the arms. Halfway down, slowly straightening the arms. Knees can be straight or bent. So you want to feel that your core and your back is supporting you. Bringing the elbows back into the body. Straightening the arms. Child's pose. Wonderful. So just take a few moments in child's pose. Feeling that shape of the body again. Child's pose, so hugging in. Rounding the back. Heels towards your buttocks. Maybe knees together, knees apart. But it's that hugging in, but just so nice and relaxed. Then we can sit all the way up, and if it's comfortable, keep sitting on your heels, knees forward. If not, just sit cross-legged straight away. Otherwise, let's enjoy a little bit more hugging into the center. If you have blocks, not cushions, but blocks, something heavy, you can have them just in front of your hips, and your hands will be on your blocks. If not, we're simply just working with the hands on the floor. So whatever variation you are in, this will be that hugging in sensation, rounding in like a child's pose, but with a lot of core action. So let's cross the ankles, pressing the hands down, knees are together, you lift your knees to your chest, you're rounding in as you press your hands into the floor, hugging in, sit all the way back down, cross the ankles the other way. The guidance towards this is all that lifting in and up. Maybe your knees just lift up, maybe all you do is to press into the floor, maybe the knees come up and you round in. And again, you can sit down. So you can see if we have the blocks, it's a little bit easier. So you can cross the ankles the other way if you like. Eventually, we will extend the legs out in front. So again, we'll do the same variation. Maybe your legs stretch all the way out in front. Maybe we'll just do it in our own creative way. So when you're ready, hugging in, the knees can lift and we can extend forward. So if this is our own creative flow, so however our legs come forward is perfect. So lift through the chest. You can bend your knees here. You can always sit on blocks or on your cushions. Interlace your fingers, stretch the heels of your hands away, lift your arms to the sky. We'll twist gently to the right side and forward, to the left side and forward. Release the arms by your side. So again, it's not a big twist. We are using our central channel to rotate. Reach your arms, bend the elbows, either hold on to opposite elbow or opposite hand to the shoulder. Twist to the right and twist to the left. And face forward. Release your arms. Hug your right knee in. Again, find that you're sitting on both sitting bones. So again, you can bend that left knee. You can sit on your blocks. Stay here, or take that foot to the outside of your left leg. Both sitting bones even on the floor. Another variation is to bring the left heel to your right hip. Both sitting bones on the floor. Right foot pressing down, right knee pointing up. So do the variation that is nice in your body. Lift your chest, right arm behind you. Close the eyes. Imagine your center line. The space from the perineum or the tailbone through the central channel of the body to the crown of the head. And imagine you can find that channel. So you might notice if you're leaning to one side or the other. Then make adjustments to be in that channel. You don't have to twist deeply. First find that central channel, that line, and then allow the body to move where it needs to move. And face all the way forward again, uncrossing the legs. And maybe again take a moment to find that center. So finding our center again, wherever we are, however the situation or the yoga pose looks like, or whatever is going on around us, just coming back to the center. Maybe you just bend the left knee, heel aligned maybe with the sitting bone. Maybe the foot comes to the outside, or you bend that right leg. Sit up nice and tall. Take a moment to again connect to your body, your energy. Then maybe left arm behind you, rotating on that central channel. Your head can gaze in either direction, so whatever is comfortable in the neck. Come forward again. Uncross the legs and hug both knees towards your chest. Just give yourself a nice hug. You can rest your head towards your knees. So a couple of options. You can stay like that, or with the arms to the outside of your legs, you can take your index and middle fingers, so your peace fingers, between your big toes and the neck, so you hold on to your big toes. Keeping your belly and chest on your thighs. You can slowly walk your feet slightly out. Again, the head can drop. So seated forward in Paschimottanasana. You can keep the knees bent, maybe your legs start to straighten, maybe you choose to sit on a block or cushion. But you're not straining, you don't have to be anywhere but where you are right now. You just let the body breathe. Allowing any tension that's behind you, any holding on or grasping that's behind you, allow that to release as you surrender deeper. Take another 2 very deep inhales and those long sighing out exhales. And then you can walk your hands towards you when you're ready. Slow motion, you're not in any rush. And once you're seated, you can take your hands just behind your hips, so you're slightly leaning back, fingertips pointing forward. They could point back again as well. Bend your knees so your feet are maybe just in front of your knees. Press down for your hands and your feet, and we open up into our front body. So lifting the hips, feeling the back body supporting the front, so everything that's behind us is supporting us to move forward and supporting us to simply be present. And slowly sit all the way back down. And so from here we will transition to relaxation. So this is your relaxation pose. Traditionally, you can lie down on your back, feet apart, arms by the side, palms facing up. If that bothers your lower back, just bend your knees, feet on the floor, knees to the sky. Your arms can be by your side, on your body. So just coming into your relaxation. I'm going to sit up, but please stay resting in your relaxation. A shape that works for you right now. And here you can feel the earth supporting you, grounding you, so you can feel centered and balanced. You can become aware of the back body resting on the earth. And the front body open and secure and safe. Allowing the right and the left side to relax evenly. And feeling the breath breathing the body. And as always, I invite you to stay for as long as you like in your relaxation. So if you have the space to just stay in your relaxation, please do. But we are slowly moving towards the hour. So for those of you who just put aside the hour, you can slowly start to move the toes and the fingers, deepening the breath. Maybe stretching out, stretching one side and the other, both sides, hugging the knees in, and eventually coming up to a comfortable seat. And once you're seated, again, you can bring the palms to your heart. And I know some of you are just staying in your relaxation, so please just stay. Again, once you're seated, find your center. So find that central channel and allow yourself to stay in that space energetically, mentally, and emotionally. You will swing from side to side and backwards and forwards, but knowing you can always come back to your center. Knowing what's behind you is supporting you and bringing you forward and supporting you in your present. And the limitless opportunities and abundance in front of you. Allowing the right and the left to connect. And allowing both strengths from your right and your left. And so from the center of our heart, our spiritual heart at the center of the chest, we'll take a deep breath in. Exhale it all the way out. Namaste. Namaste. So thank you so much, and thank you for being here. Obviously, I'm just happy to offer these on Facebook and Instagram, but if you do like to contribute, you can share donations on the PayPal, which is in the link on Instagram, yogaembodiedonline.com/hello. If you're on Instagram, it's going to switch off in a minute and I'll reconnect you. So there we go. But whoops. So thank you so much for being here. And again, if you're still in relaxation, stay in your relaxation. And if you have any requests, any poses, any themes you want to practice or explore in the sessions or in any other kind of lives, so if you have any request for specific poses you want to explore, maybe the alignment or properties or just something you'd like to play around with, then please just send me a message. You can put that in the comment box. You can write me a message, or put it in the comment box. It's always nice. I know you can't share because it's in a group, but you're very welcome to share the group or copy and paste the videos and share them out. So that's another way to support as well. So I think that's it. So I'm here if you have any comments you want to share or anything else, just to write them in the comment box. And I'll be here tomorrow as well at 12:30 and Saturday at 11. I have a prenatal class on Tuesdays as well. So just a short session there. So so thank you so much. Have a wonderful evening, and I hope to see you soon. So thank you, Caroline. And thank you, Veronique. Yeah, we need movement, we need to reconnect. So thank you, Veronique. It's good to have you on as well. So this is so nice when I can reconnect with people I don't see otherwise, or have moved, or anything else. Yeah, we try to carry on as much as possible, Jane, in a new way. You know, for me, I think this has actually been very interesting. It's still all carrying on, but in new, and hopefully, for some of us anyway, it's a wonderful time for us to find other ways that might be good to continue on, even when things starts to change again as well. So lovely. So so if you have questions, anything, just send me a direct message. I'll put it in the comment box as well, and I'll check in with you. So thank you very much. Thank you. Oh, and I have quite a few things going on, not specific dates actually, but I'll be interviewed by a couple of different fellow teachers and etc. etc. So if you have any questions you want me to explore in a podcast or in webinar, let me know. And if you're considering doing the pregnancy teacher training course, also let me know, because I'll be on Instagram tomorrow at 4:30 with Mel, who is the owner of the Margate Yoga Studio, where the teacher training will be held. So if you have questions, again, just send them in advance if we have to explore something, or join me at 4:30, me and Mel on Instagram for Instagram Live. So so thank you, Ina, so nice to have you here. It's not the same as in person, but I still feel your presence. So I kind of imagine you're here when I'm practicing with you. So it's always nice for me too. Okay, so thank you. I'm going to switch off again. So namaste, namaste. Dew, dew.